We would argue that over the course of time we have seen an erosion of democratic life in Venezuela. It is clear that the policies pursued by the authorities in their response to the protests has been at the cost of Venezuelans' rights and freedoms. The right to peaceful assembly was systematically violated, as you just heard, with protesters and people identified as political opponents detained in great numbers. And as indicated, the report also identifies serious violations of due process and patterns of ill treatment, which in some cases amounted to torture. The government must ensure there are prompt, independent, and effective investigations of the human rights violations allegedly committed by the security forces and of the abuses involving armed collectivos or violent protesters. This includes ensuring that the investigations initiated by the Attorney General during the period covered by this report continue and are scrupulously and visibly impartial. I will be urging the Human Rights Council to consider taking measures to try to prevent the human rights situation in Venezuela, which is, remember, itself a member of the Council, from worsening. It is, of course, up to the Council to decide what these measures could be, a monitoring mechanism to regularly report to the Council, or a commission of inquiry.
What about the other numbers? I mean, you have a whole host of numbers. Have you got updated numbers for those?
First, excessive use of force. Credible and consistent accounts of victims and witnesses indicate that security forces systematically used excessive force to deter demonstrations, crush dissent, and instill fear. Excessive use of force came at a cost. It caused violations of human rights, for example, the right to life. And at least 46 deaths are allegedly attributable to the security forces.
Good morning. This is Jamie from...
A great number of arbitrary detentions were made during the period of our report, affecting demonstrators or those perceived by the government as somehow linked with the opposition. OHCHR identified a pattern of serious violations of due process in the cases of the detentions documented, including lack of arrest warrants, incommunicado detention, lack of access to legal counsel, and breaches of the principle of presumption of innocence.